And they kept saying, you know, he had a cold. But this is the thing. When you have a cold, there's many things you can take for it. We didn't know he had a cold until he stood up. A cold doesn't force you to lose your train of thought. A cold doesn't force you to just throw things out randomly that to many people made no sense. And so how long do we continue to act like that we didn't see what we just saw last night? I thought for many people, the word I keep hearing, it was very painful to watch.
Well, I want to go, I want to go, wow, can you believe that they're saying that? Yes, I can. They knew it the whole time. They're just saying it now because you can see it. Do not be fooled and do not think, oh, wow, it's so bad these people are finally being honest. No, they knew this the whole time. They knew it the whole time. But it's just because you saw it. And they can't hide it from you. I got a couple theories. First off, welcome back. Dana Loesch with you, top of the second hour. Did Democrats just send him out there to expedite the switcheroo? Did they allow this to happen to expedite the switcheroo? Because he apparently agreed to this without the DNC. His campaign apparently did it before the DNC could get involved. This is for all of the discussion about Jill Biden being an elderly pageant mom and all this other stuff. Don't underestimate the pettiness of Joe Biden. I cannot underscore this enough. He will hold on to that seat until they drag him out because these people on the left and some people on the right, they think that they've got like a calling on the seat. They think that it is like their birthright. That's what they act like. He thinks that this is his birthright, much in the same way that Hillary Clinton thought it was hers. He's mad that they went with Hillary before him. And Hillary was mad that they went with Obama before her. Remember, back in 2008, it was hers for the taking. She had done what she was supposed to do. She went into Senate. She did all of that. She was raising her profile, and they said, no, you need to step aside from this newbie out of Illinois. She was mad. In fact, there was cheating in Texas. There was cheating in the Democrat primary in Texas. Oh, yes, there is a whole documentary about it. She was moving heaven and earth. Superdelegates were involved, all of it. And then Biden got passed over in 2016. It wasn't that he didn't want to run. He was told not to run. And then I think between then and now, obviously, he's had some strokes, plural. So these people, Gayle King saying this is a signal to everybody else that it's all right to say it. Why? Because Gayle King is part of the inner circle. Gayle King is best friends with Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey and the Obamas are like they're thick as thieves. That is part of his inner circle. They visit each other at their respective estates in Hawaii. They hang out in Montecito. They are close. For her to feel free to say this, that is your sign that there's some shuffling going on in the back rooms there in the Democrat Party. That's basically the Obama camp signaling, okay, we've done all we can do. We've done all we can do. It's Obama's mission right now to not look responsible for Joe Biden. And remember, the currency of these guys, but Obama's currency is vanity. He wants to look like the smartest guy in the room. This Daily Caller piece, and they were citing some Axios stuff too. They even said, yeah, there's a weird family dynamic with them. No one in that family is going to tell Biden to step down. So now you're left with the Democrats now are trying to, They have to, they can't say that it was all a cheap fake. I know it's deep fake, but we're going with Karine Jean-Pierre's ruining of that phrase. They can't say that it was all a cheap fake. We all saw it. So now they have to be like, wow, it's, so bad. They wanted to act like it was a one-off. Oh, he's got a cold. But that was so dumb. Nobody believes that. I mean, he has a cold. A cold as I can't believe what I'm about to say this. Gayle King was not wrong with that sentiment. It's bad. It's so bad. MSNBC, audio sent by 20, full on losing their minds. Listen.
Mm-hmm. He needed to settle Democrats. Democrats, they always talk about Democrats are bedwetters and Democrats are always panicking. Yes, Democrats are always panicking. They're always scared, right? They're always thinking they're going to lose. Like Democrats are very pessimistic. This is just neurotic. Who they are. They're neurotic. But Joe Biden's job was to reassure them tonight. His job was to calm his party, to make them feel that, yes, I can do this. I have 4 more years in me. I have the ability and the stamina and the strength to do 4 more years. He did not do that. He did the opposite of that.
Wow.
He made them more panicked. The
You all
people
knew
who were
this. Don't
texting-
act like this is new. Don't act like this is new. You all knew this. Guys, they all knew it. They've all known it. Remember, they've been shut up from interviewing this guy. They've been shut up from being at regular press conferences with this guy. My gosh, the White House press corps was filing a complaint yesterday because they were disallowed access to cover the debate like they had normally. Why? Because Democrats didn't want them to have access to Biden. Biden couldn't handle it. He couldn't be down there in the scrum. He couldn't be in the spin room. Did you see any pictures of Biden in the spin room, by the way? No, because they didn't exist. That's weird. Hell, you didn't even see any surrogates down there. It was basically Fox News in CNN's basement. Just wild. It was just, so these people, I got one more for you. These people doing this, audio soundbite 11, CNN, they're just like, they don't know how to come back from this, guys. Listen.
If anybody in America thinks that was even close to being an okay debate by Joe Biden, I'm living in a parallel universe. It was an unmitigated disaster for President Biden from the second he walked out to the closing statement. The biggest issue for Democrats is abortion, and he couldn't give an answer. He gave an answer, he couldn't even give a coherent answer on the biggest issue for Democrats tonight. I've heard from leading Democrats across the United States, elected governors, congressmen, who are texting me and saying, I'm worried I'm going to lose if Joe Biden's at the top of the ticket.
Yep. Now, I'll tell you, they're shuffling back channel. And I was just explaining to you previous hour, Jen Van Laar's got a great piece over at Red State. She was on with us a couple of months ago about this. I mean, they could. They could theoretically switch him out. But they would have to be after the convention. And this is when they actually changed their bylaws to make this a reality. They had to change their bylaws. They did this back in November for their 2024 convention. And it would have to happen after the convention. And that's that article, the Article 4, Section G. And it's their convention call for convention. And under those bylaws, they can fill a vacancy on the national ticket in the event of death, resignation, or disability. Now, the document, as she noted, is very vague on the disability details. Who certifies that? Who validates it? It's completely at somebody else's discretion. It's very vague on purpose. So you'll go through the whole convention, and it'll be Joe Biden. But then afterwards, from all of the stuff that I'm hearing, now let me caution you. Let's say that they do this. Let's say that you have the convention, which could be a part of the plan all along. You're going through the convention. You have to let Biden go out there and fail. You have to go right to the edge of total disaster to show everyone so you don't have people rebelling in the party. You don't want funders rebelling. You don't want your street agents rebelling. You don't want your bundlers and your operatives and your consultants and your spinmeisters and everyone rebelling. It must look like they've done everything absolutely possible to satisfy having Biden on the ticket, but he just can't cut it because he just can't do it physically and mentally. That's why I think they allowed him to do this debate. This is all part of the plan. Don't act like this is Democrats, and this is what I fervently believe, actually. This is not Democrats not knowing what the hell's going on. This is not Democrats who, oh my gosh, we overshot. No, this is part of the plan. It's going to look like, because America loves a comeback story. It's going to look like they're right on the cusp of failure. And Republicans are going to feel real, real good. And this will lull the GOP into a little bit of complacency. They want you to feel like it's in the bag. You're going to see some crazy polls coming out after this debate. Remember, that bump is temporary. And they're going to go through the convention, and you're going to have all the drama, and then more and more, it's going to be evident it's just bad. After the convention, I think that there's probably 50% chance at this point they will switch him out with Gavin Newsom. It's not going to be anybody but Gavin. It's not going to be Kamala Harris. It's not going to be Gretchen Whitmer. Look at who has been in the press lately. Who was the person that had a very conveniently timed visit from head of state from China? Who was it that has had these other heads of state come visit? Who is it that went to Florida and has been presenting himself as next in line, but he's very careful about it. It's Gavin Newsom. Listen to this. He was asked about this. He's playing this perfect. Audio soundbite 23. He's playing this perfect. Listen to this.
You were out there getting a chorus of questions about whether Biden should step down. There is panic that has set in. There is panic that has set in among people who have watched this debate, who are Democrats, people who are strategists, and some even inside Democratic campaigns. Yeah. Do you think it's unfounded?
Well, I think it's unhelpful, and I think it's unnecessary. We've got to go in and got to keep our heads high. And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You don't turn your back because of one performance. What kind of party does that?
Wow.
It's been a masterclass.
Wow.
15.6 million jobs. That's 8 times more than the last 3 Republican presidents combined. The only thing
he's so notice what he didn't say. Is it unfounded? It's unhelpful. But he didn't say it was unfounded. It's just unhelpful. You're going to let one performance? You got to have the back of this president. No, that's not how this works. He's supposed to be for us, but whatever. You got to have the back of this president. He's using a little bit of populist rhetoric here. I mean, you don't do that. You don't do that as a party. What would you do with that? Oh, he's playing it real well. He's the white knight coming in. Oh, no, you don't do it like that. Audio soundbite 24. He's asked outright, would you replace Biden? Listen to this.
And some people have speculated that you've been a pretty good spokesman for Mr. Trump or with Mr. Biden. Would you be ready to hop in the race should he bow out at any point?
That's a non sequitur. I don't even understand the context of that. This is the President of the United States running for re-election. He's our guy. And that's part of the diversion tactic, right, to continue to sort of muddy the waters on all that. And that
he's not even going to entertain.
It's just like
he's not even going to acknowledge the health issues. But notice what he's doing. He's putting himself out there in front of the cameras every second he can. Every second he can. He doesn't have to. He's going out there. And then because he's doing that, the media, everyone else is assuming, okay, this is maybe the guy who's... And then they ask him about it. Oh, how dare you? What would we be as a party? Gosh dang, look at him. He's a team player, that Gavin Newsom. It's too transparent by half. But it's going to work on a lot of those people. That's part of the plan, to keep the people in the Democrat Party from rebelling, so that when they do switch to him, they can go, oh, you mean that guy who was out there defending Biden? Well, that makes sense, I guess. You know, governor, and he's been out there doing all that. This is all by design, you guys. This is all by design. And then the Democrat Party is going to be energized because there is a switch in the ticket. Oh, they've got to really come together to make this happen. And then the honeymoon's going to begin. Oh, you haven't seen a press honeymoon until you see that ticket switched out.